It was Turtler who convinced him of setting up a museum of broadcasting, and it was so interesting that it was done. And in those days, but Bob realized that they could not collect originals. That he would collect what was the Betamax, or there would be copies of the originals, and but could not store, because you'd have to have preservation quality for the original artifacts of that. And fortunately, the Library of Congress and your operation, and now with these oral things, that oral 20 years that the Television Academy is doing, it's just simply wonderful just wonderful to do it.
And you worked with the networks too. You got all the
yes.
yes.
I had to go over. Well, there was CBS immediately, because under Paley, they cooperated. Asked for it, it came the next day, and there was a wonderful man that was working at CBS, and he knew everything that they had, and the next day it would be there. But NBC, I had to go over and practically sign for everything that we were collecting, even though we were only going to make copies, and it would not be the original of it at all. But they were very protective of their ownership and all. But it's so awful, and even the copyright law now extended how many years, and practically nothing goes into copyright, out of copyright anymore practically. But it keeps good material from ever being seen, which is, or at least certainly from big broadcast or cable cast.
Now, did you have much interaction with William Paley in the formation of?
I did not, no. I think I only met him a couple of times. He did not, he really was not, he was at the opening of the museum. That day was a wonderful day because we devoted it to all the correspondence. And one of the ones I knew, Wells Hagen, had just been murdered by the Khmer Rouge. It was his last day in Pyongyang, and I knew his wife. His wife was an old friend of mine. And it was a shock to all of us that Wells Hagen was killed. He was a foreign correspondent for NBC. And so we devoted the opening to all the foreign correspondents in the Far East at that point. And we had Wells's, Pat had sent us Wells's collection, so to speak, in other words, what he carried with him on it. And so it was a tribute to him. But by that time, Cronkite really ran that whole show because he was head of all the foreign correspondents in the Far East at that time, and how many of them had been killed by this time. And of course, here we are going through it again now with journalists being killed. The omnibus shows are all preserved, and they're in the Library of Congress, I believe, with the. What I can't remember is the negatives are there. I'm quite sure. I think everything is there. I think the negatives, I think, are all there.